What's this vid called? All secret visitors and cutscenes and No, I'm Not a Human. Lock in.
Characters within the game,
Lock
with
in.
many having dramatic and gripping stories. I covered one of the stories about the kind man who reveals that he had a lover who died in a tragedy, which taught him a valuable lesson to not take life and each second for granted, as one could never know when the loved ones leave us. In this video, I will go over some unique guest interactions and some special
You got a long ass neck. Unique character interactions.
There's a bald character with a backpack.
The cat guy.
He refers to himself as a traveler. He doesn't ask to come into the house.
It's the cat dude.
Seems to be there to help the protagonist for some unknown reason. His conversations are bizarre and mysterious, and he speaks in riddles. As he first appears, he seems healthy and well fed. He advises the protagonist to let a specific cat into the house, as it will be the cause for the
the cat protects
redemption. As days go
and
on, he reveals that the cat will reveal the passage into the basement, which will lead to an underground tunnel, and in there, he will find a hole. This hole will be the secret to the protagonist's redemption. As days go on and this messenger keeps on visiting the protagonist, he visibly becomes unhealthier, thinner, and weaker. He mentions that his memory and eyesight are
like he got burned,
and he is being drained by her. It's unclear who he refers to, but this is directly connected to one of the many endings where the protagonist goes into the underground tunnel and finds a hole. Jumping in the hole
Good luck with that, though.
To a surreal world with shallow water, where the protagonist meets a godly deity known as Death, who places the protagonist into a serene and peaceful world, similar to his own house.
I would not want to live here,
away
bro.
From the cat are directly connected to another interesting guest. This guest can be labeled as the cat lady, who makes unintelligible sentences. She starts by asking if the protagonist is open or not, as if being
I'm open.
Store. When asked why she came to the house and how, she simply responds by saying that she is a ballet dancer and that she would maybe dance for the protagonist. When asked if she is a human, she simply responds that what if she is not, implying that she is a visitor. And then she goes on a rant about how she is a ballerina. When invited in, she doesn't like the fact that she is in fact a visitor, and even reveals that she brought the cat in. And what else the protagonist wants? She is unlike a visitor, as if trying to help the protagonist, which makes it very interesting. So by the sounds of it, not all infected humans by these brain parasites are hostile or evil.
Yeah, isn't the girl in the beginning the one with the like fucked up shoulder? Doesn't she not attack anybody? I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
The story and how certain brain parasites are causing humans to become visitors, and that they are not aliens or other non-human entities that we previously thought. And as we heard from the intruder or the super visitor, he takes orders and is part of the society. So taking all that into consideration, the brain parasites are intelligent sentient beings who take control of human host bodies, and they don't seem to be all in agreement, as some have formed their own communities while some other are doing their own thing. In this case, the cat lady seems to be even used as a vessel to bring the cat to the protagonist.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we try to shoot this visitor, she actually starts controlling her body in an unhuman and discomforting way, referring to it as being ballet dance. So after all, she does dance ballet for us. Just before being shot, she explains that she is tired and rotting from within, so she accepts the fate of dying, even though not being too happy about it. So maybe this lady still has some remnant of her consciousness left while being infected by a brain parasite, as she specifically mentions that she is
fuck no, dude.
Within. So that is maybe why she brought the cat and chose to be shot so that she can be freed from her doomed fate. Or even a crazier theory is that maybe the parasitic worm in her brain is actually siding with the humans, seeing how cruel the other brain parasites are, so it decides to actually be on the good side. So it shows that they have a very broad and diverse intelligence and sentience. Another unique character is a guy who wears a FEMA hazmat suit without a helmet. He insists that he is not with FEMA and implies that he found the suit while being stained in blood and covered in grime. He begs to be let in and take a shower and get rid of the suit, as he doesn't like it and everyone else seems afraid of it. Letting this person in, we force him to empty his pockets, pointing the gun at him, when eventually he reveals that he used to work with FEMA. He does work for FEMA. His FEMA identification card. He is hesitant and anxious, as if something bothers him. He then pours his heart out that he was just following orders by gathering people up and putting them into the quarantine zones, and he implies without saying it that he killed people, not even knowing who they are, but being almost certain that they were all innocent. All he did was to follow the orders of the higher-ups. He explains that he left cause he couldn't cope with a guilty conscience.
Why not take the whole outfit off then? Why keep the vest on?
Aligns with an ending where the protagonist joins FEMA, explaining how his identity is taken away and he is part of a brutal killing machine where he sees death and destruction on a daily basis. We could already assume FEMA wasn't a good agency, as they took guests by force and never returned them.
It's kind of obvious
the massacre of the people
that
in
they're not good.
Zones, blaming it on the vigilante gunmen, and then at the end, they topple down the government and take over the media. Next up, we have the Code Guy, who I used
That's
to
a guy? I thought that was a girl.
Woman. As I can't deny, he does look like a woman.
Okay,
anyway,
yeah, thank you. I was about to say,
and complains about
I always thought that was a girl.
The heat doesn't
it doesn't really matter.
He covers himself up in multiple layers and a muffler.
I do actually know this one. She lifts up, or he lifts up the shirt and there's like a hole in his stomach.
And explains that he wishes that he could die, just wanting a peaceful and quiet place to rest. Even asks if the protagonist could shoot him. Entering the house, he shares his secret by
I can't believe that's a guy, bro.
Revealing that he has an active black hole in his stomach.
Yeah.
Doing so kills everyone within the room. As the protagonist
I didn't know that.
The gun at him, he sees it as mercy, as he won't feel lonely and cold anymore, as he feels to be cursed. And clearly by the dialogue and the looks on him, he doesn't want people to die when lifting his shirt.
Bro, his eyes
are
so
so
weird
with this character, as he isn't trying to hide that he is a visitor. This brain parasite seems to have some supernatural side effect, causing the man to have a black hole in his stomach, always killing people who see it. It is so devastating.
Why doesn't the main character die then?
That he didn't live anymore. So what kind of parasite would want this? If anything, it seems as if there's still some remnants of consciousness within this man, or maybe the entire consciousness, as he seems mentally unaffected and fully aware. He knows that he has an issue and even tries to resolve it by having his life taken. Next character who is a human who faces a tragic end is a teacher who cared deeply about her students who died horrifying deaths. The tragic story of her past, which left her with severe trauma, made her feel powerless and weak, wanting desperately to find someone just to speak to. When knocking on the door, she explains that she just wants a pair of listening ears to pour all her pain and trauma on. Or at least have someone to lean on.
Isn't she the one with the messed up fingers? Like if you actually see her hands, they're like shaved off. I'm pretty sure that's her. I might be wrong.
She loved the kids and wanted to provide them with safety, love, and compassion. The problem is, people are selfish and
Finding a
only
Bicycle
care
reference?
about themselves. The news of the visitor spread like wildfire, causing panic and fear, which eventually led to the townsfolk spreading a rumor that the kids are strange and that they might be visitors. That's when they locked all the doors and boarded up the windows, setting the kindergarten on fire, while making the teacher watch the kids burn alive. All the teacher could do was just to watch in terror, watching their innocent little eyes staring back in fear. When we let her in, she can't cope with the guilt and what future beholds her, with only violence, fear,
I have nothing to offer. I just want this to end.
Protagonist's gun and steals it, ending it right then. This is one of the saddest and most tragic side stories of a character within the game.
I did not know she did that.
We have another character, someone who doesn't have any eyeballs. Talking to him, he describes seeing something so horrifying, so large and monstrous that he couldn't risk seeing it again. He pulled his own eyeballs out just to never lay eyes on it, asking if he
How could you force yourself to do that, dude? I could never.
What he saw doesn't even compare slightly. Maybe this entity is what runs the Order, giving the likes of the Pale
Dude, I really hope that this game adds more, not like a DLC, but I hope they show more, or the creators make like a second game that expands this, bro, because this universe is so fucking cool.
Go on adventures and kill people. This entity, it is a life eater. Letting this man in, the fear of this entity that he saw never leaves him. He dreams about the thing and seems to have some sort of lingering trauma, as if being some sort of PTSD. And
saw it coming towards
he cannot
me.
Cope with this fear.
See how
and
it
ends
moved.
it all.
Oh, he hangs himself?
The woman who carries the corpse of
I don't like
comes
her.
in, just wanting to rest.
I don't
for a
fuck with
little
her.
While. She is madly in love with her husband and doesn't seem ready to move on. She explains the story of how they met, with the husband learning just one song on the guitar to specifically impress her at a party. Ever since, they just fell in love more and more. And this is another tragic story where she lost the better half of herself, and we get a picture of them.
He already
Another
looks.
interesting character is the Sun guy.
He already
who
looks
always
dead in
makes
that picture, bro.
conspiracies about Sun and
Oh, Jack
Fiona,
Black.
and strangely addresses the protagonist, calling him human all the time as if
Yeah,
being a visitor
he
or
is
an
really
alien
weird.
himself. He has turns and even unleashes on the protagonist, but when offered a beer, he calms down all of a sudden and considers the protagonist as a friend, and then reveals that he remembers the good old times, how he would hang out in a bar and drink, revealing that he is just a human who has dependency on alcohol. Seductive lady. I
Oh, my
already went
favorite
over this
character? No, I'm
in
kidding.
all endings explained. She is the only character that stays and sleeps.
Yeah,
in the
she's the
protagonist's
one
bed,
with the
suggesting
demon
that they
baby.
have intimate relations. She is soft-spoken and listens to the protagonist's most troubling thoughts
Yeah.
and memories. Despite being kind and comforting, she changes at night with her belly growing. As
Yeah,
if
and her
trying to
neck
give
gets all,
birth.
like,
In
weird,
the mornings,
bro.
she becomes combative and defensive, denying what happens at nights, trying to make the protagonist feel crazy and abusive.
I
even
wonder if
gaslighting him, saying
I wonder if they ever explained if we're the ones who did that or she was already like that. I wonder.
that he is just like his father, using his trauma and bad memories against him, being a manipulator and using his weakness and what he
manipulator?
entrusted to her
Why'd you say it
just
like
to
that?
hurt him. That's when eventually her stomach pops, unveiling
Yeah,
that
and
she
then
was
the-
a visitor
the
who then
baby.
gives birth to a child who is
Yeah.
supposed to bring misery and horrors beyond imagination to Earth. If the protagonist kills the fetus, he becomes crucified as a messiah, prayed to by
As the
people,
Messiah?
being their savior by dying for their sins. There are some other characters who directly are related to different endings. These are the Mushroom Guy, the Vigilante, and the Cultists. But
Yup.
as I have already covered them in another video, I won't go over them again. These were some of the most unique characters within the game. Are there any more that I should have gone over? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, it's been your host, Star. Thanks for being here, and I will
That
see
was
you
a
on the next
fire
one.
video,
Take
bro. I'm
care.
not gonna lie. That was a cool ass video, bro. I never knew because the playthroughs I watched, they never. I don't know why they like never talked to them. They only just tested them and then just left them. They never talked to them. So maybe I should watch like a full playthrough of somebody who actually plays the game. Oh, that video was fire though. Bro, I really hope that the devs of this game make more of it. Like, I really hope this isn't the only thing they do with this franchise. Because this has so much potential to be so goddamn cool. This has so much potential to be so cool. Yeah, no, they need to do more with this. Because even in the game, the tall pale guy says like he's not a leader. He only follows like the rules or some shit like that. So I wonder if it is kind of like a hierarchy thing, and there's like somebody at the top because it's clearly not the pale guy. I don't know. I really hope they do more with this though, bro, because they cooked with this shit.